Okay, moving on. Question number 5 comes in from Frank. Hi there, Frank. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. Frank says, we put our character property in a desirable area of northwest London up for sale in November 2022. Due to unforeseen circumstances, basically skint after giving up my career to look after my wife, we desperately need to sell. We went with the agent with the best reputation in our area, whose valuation, 1 of 4, fell in the middle. They also promised they'd be able to sell quickly. We've had hardly any viewings since instructing them. There are approximately 15 agents covering our area. 2 agents warned us the market was dead at this time of year and said it was made worse by the economy. We actually hear more often from the agents we didn't instruct than the one actually dealing with our property. They all claim they can sell it, but I don't understand what they could do differently, as it's on Rightmove as it's Rightmove that finds the buyer, which they all use. On the rare occasion I speak to my agent, they just say drop the price by 50 grand if you want to sell it. This makes no sense given our area. There are rundown properties similar to ours in good condition that are actually selling for more and have sold. Our agent doesn't bother with social media, and I worry that they will only be looking local. There's an artsy, trendy area nearby that would get more exposure, so I'm wondering whether we should be better off to go with an agent situated in one of those areas or just see how things go. Well, okay, well, thank you for that question, Frank. Quite a bit going on there, and I'm sorry to hear that you've had that sort of situation where you're for want of a better expression, almost got the gun to your head in terms of needing to sell the property quickly and get out of there to release some cash to obviously look after your lady. This is a really interesting approach, and unfortunately, timing perhaps hasn't been as great as one would ideally like. If you've fallen into this trap of, you've gone to put the property up for sale at a time where the market's been doing that and been rising, lots of interest, lots of properties selling very, very quickly, and then the timing you've come in is after the mini budget, is after interest rates have started to rise, it's after the cost of living crisis, and unfortunately, you can see automatically it's started to take the heat out of the market, and that may well be what you're dealing with right now. It's an interesting market in the northwest of London, and I think what your best option might be here is, assuming you're not in a tied to a 12-week marketing agreement, might be to look at going multi-agency or dual agency. So you've had 4 different agents look at your property. There's potentially 15 in your area that will agree to that want to sell it or would cover that area in terms of selling it. There is nothing to stop you instructing another estate agent on what's called a joint agency. So you have 2 agents or a multi-agency, which would be perhaps 3 or more agents that would come in and work their socks off to sell the property. Now, the one thing you're going to be faced with is that the fee for selling is likely to go up because usually in these sorts of arrangements, most agents won't do a multi or a joint agency if it's on a winner-takes-all basis. Most of them will usually do a fee share of some description. It's usually 2/3, 1/3 in favour of the selling agent. So you might want to think about that, about what's the financial incentive you can offer those agents in order to look at selling the property as quickly as possible and getting the best possible price. Now, you've got a maths exercise to do here. If you're being told to drop the price by 50 grand, and you could actually increase the fee by a percentage point on either a winner takes all or a 2/3, 1/3 split, or whatever, 70/30, whatever ratio agents want to do, would 2, 3, 4 agents selling your property be able to get you a better figure than what you're currently experiencing, or more interest, more viewers, more foot traffic through the door, that would then give you more confidence that the property is desirable and people are interested in buying it and will just want to come and have a look and hopefully put an offer in. It is weird sometimes, and the reason I mention this, Frank, is because sometimes as agents, when I was in the agency game, you'd put a house on the market, you were convinced you would sell it tomorrow. You had people on your mailing list that you would call, or people in what used to be called the hot box in the old estate agency days, that you would go through your hot box, you'd find a potential buyer, and you go, I've got just the person for this. You'd call them up, and they've either found something, or they're not interested, or they go and have a look and they're like, yeah, we'll take a drive by, but we didn't like it. All of those sorts of things can happen. And then you have, 3 months trying to sell the property, you don't sell it, the client takes it off the market, they put it up with one of your competitors, and then it's sold within a week. I mean, it used to drive you mad. You think, how, we worked their socks off. How did they sell it? And the same thing would happen in reverse as well. So sometimes I don't know whether it's something in the air or what, or whether it's down to luck. But the point being, from your point of view, obviously the sale and the certainty of the sale is the most important thing. So I would look at speaking to a couple of agents and say, look, I'm thinking about going joint agency or multi-agency on this. Can you tell me how that would work from your perspective? Is it something you're interested in, first of all? And secondly, if it is, what are we looking at fee-wise? Okay, and then get their input in terms of price. It is a common misnomer, if that's the right word to use here, that a lot of sellers have, that they think, well, I'm just choosing an agent to go with, and then they're just going to put it all out on the internet. And you mentioned probably the most popular search engine in the UK for property, and people think, well, it's on there, therefore any other agent's just going to do exactly the same. It doesn't come down just to that. There's a whole lot more that can go on behind the scenes, as I've just sort of highlighted. So talk to 2 or 3 other agents, see what their views are, see what they think in terms of price, see what they think in terms of the value that you're offering and the fee that it's going to cost you. And then I would look at going joint or multi-agency, or sacking the one that you've got working for you at the moment if they're not giving you the standard of service that you feel like you should be due, and then going joint or multi with another couple of agents. Okay. Couple of other things I want to say to you as well, Frank, just to help you along with your journey. Again, please don't take this as a massive sales pitch, because it's not what it's intended to be, but it is about helping you get from the marketing of the property through to exchange of contracts as quickly as possible. And the best way to do that in a safe manner is to, again, get your protect your pocket policy in place. That's through WiggyWam website. Go to wiggyWam.co.uk/protect your pocket. Okay, that is the first thing any buyer or seller needs to have in place as an indemnity policy for your costs of moving home, so that should the sale fall through for whatever reason, then you are protected in terms of your costs that have been spent out. You'll be able to recoup those through the policy. So that's the first thing you need, without question. The second thing I'm going to ask you to get in place would be your seller's pack. And the reason I'm suggesting that as well is because you negate this issue of what I call crisis last minute negotiations, because sometimes what will happen is a buyer will change their mind, or they will try to argue that actually we didn't know that about the property when we put our offer in, and because we've now found that out, we're going to reduce the price that we're offering on the property. And the point of having the seller's pack is to provide as much information up front as you possibly can. So with your seller's pack and your twin search in place on top of that, that will put you in a very strong position where you're giving as much information up front as possible to any potential buyer that's coming to look at your home. Okay, that reduces the issue of last minute crisis negotiations, and gives you the added benefit that you're giving as much information as possible to your solicitor when it comes to sell the property and to hand it over to the legals. Okay. And by doing that, that again will cut down weeks and weeks and weeks of finding paperwork, of getting the searches together, of getting all the TA6 and TA10 forms together that you need to provide anyway as a result of doing this moving journey. So the question is, do you want to do it right up front when you've got this decision and this commitment to moving home? Do you want to do it then, or do you want to wait until you've got solicitors instructed and then wait another couple of weeks and then another couple of weeks and then get all this paperwork together and it's very disorganized, and then the buyer says, oh, well, I didn't know about this, I'm pulling out. All right, it just doesn't make any sense to me not to do this work up front. Okay, so that will really, really help you. And then if you want certainty of sale and you want 6 weeks exchange of contracts or being exchange ready within 6 weeks, then come on board with the conveyancing concierge service and we'll fast track that through for you as a result of having all this information in place, it will make your solicitor's task a lot easier to get the deal done ASAP. So hope that helps. I wish you the very, very best of luck with this one, Frank. I really hope that the market doesn't grind to a halt completely. I like the fact that the heat has come out of it, because I think it makes for more sensible buying decisions for a lot of buyers, and also for sellers as well, because most sellers then tend to become buyers. All right. So I hope the heat hasn't come out of the market completely. Good luck with trying to sell it. If there's anything else that we can do to help and support you, let me know. Be more than happy to guide you as best I can. But I'm wishing you the best of luck, and see if the multi-agency thing solves the problem. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that brings us to the end of today's webinar. We're just inside the 1 hour mark, which is incredible. So really happy about that, but also really happy that I've been able to address some more of your questions that you've been sending in to us. So thank you for that. If you'd like to send in any questions in the future, please feel free to do so. You can do that via our email address, which is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. And just put your questions on an email to us there. You can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. That's wiggywam.co.uk, and you can sign up for a profile on there. Feel free to submit your questions that way. You can find us on any of the social media. I think we're now on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and goodness knows where else. Tumblr, I think we're on, and some of the other of these social media sites. So feel free, through any of those marketing channels, you can get in contact with us, or on Twitter as well. Twitter handle is @WiggyWam_UK. So that's @WiggyWam_UK. And we'd love to field your questions in one of next week's shows or in the future. Again, if you'd like to become on as a guest to our WiggyWam Get Your Property Questions Answered podcast, or if you'd like to come on one of our expert corner interviews that we're going to be doing with other industry professionals, feel free to let me know. Get in contact with us. Again, email address happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. It would be a delight to organise something and get you on one of our future episodes. So thanks so much for your time, care and attention today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. If you have not yet got your profile set up on WiggyWam, I encourage you to go there immediately, if not sooner. Check out the website, set up a free profile on the site, and start to share that with your friends and family, because I know now, as the market begins to turn, they're going to need a lot more help and support with their moving journey. Things are going to get tougher rather than easier, and we're here to help and support them in every step of the way possible. All right, so please go to there, wiggywam.co.uk, set up your free profile, get started on there, start to invite your friends and family. We're going to build a real community of amazing evangelists, if you like, towards the property revolution. And I am looking forward to seeing you all on a future webinar very soon. All right, so thanks again. Take care.